Hello, my friends. Let me show you how I did the Pabbly integration via webhook with my chat with Chatbot. So here we are in my landing page that I use just to test out things in. And as you can see, right down here is my Chatbot. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And this is my chat with Chatbot. You've got the beginning of the conversation, the welcome message, and then we've got some conversation starters. What's your name? My name is Jeff. Press enter. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to test out this integration. I'm going to click on the Excel shortcuts conversation starter, and it launches this conversation that has a specific phrase in it. I would love some awesome Excel shortcuts. This becomes important later. And now the chatbot is saying, great choice, Jeff, to provide you with some awesome Excel shortcuts. I'll need your last name and email address. It's only asking for that because it already knows my name. And it knows to do this because I told it to do that in the prompt. So let's go ahead and give it some fake last name, Smith. And so it's Jeff at smith.com. So I'm going to go ahead and press send a message. And now we should see an action being performed. There it is. The action was performed. Awesome, Jeff. I received your information. Jeff Smith and jeffsmith.com. You'll be receiving some awesome Excel shortcuts in your email. Keep an eye on your inbox. Yay! Now let's go right ahead and go to my funnel. So this is the awesome Excel shortcut funnels that I already have in my LMS. And let's refresh it. And right there's Jeff. Yay! Just like we wanted. Nice. And that is an integration between Chat with, Pabbly, and my LMS made by Zenler. So this was all done with a webhook. So here we are at the chatbot in Chat with, and we see that we have our actions right here. So you can click on actions. And when you originally click on actions, you're going to see that you're going to have a lot of options of different actions. It looks like this. I'm just going to the help center and showing you what it looks like. You know, of course, it doesn't say skills anymore. It says actions. But you're going to see when you go to your actions that you're going to have more options. And because we're doing a webhook, that's the way to connect with Pabbly for now, is through a webhook. We're just going to click install webhooks right there. And then you're going to end up with this. So since I already have a webhook installed, let me just go ahead and click edit so that you would see what the steps would normally be. Before we start creating your webhook here, you have to go into Pabbly and you create a new workflow. And in your new workflow, the trigger is going to be a webhook by Pabbly. So you have to go and do this first step, because when you go to webhook by Pabbly, you're going to choose that app, webhook by Pabbly, and you're going to have a webhook URL that you're going to get. So you're going to go ahead and copy that webhook URL, and you go back to your chatbot and create a webhook. Let's go to the ones that I already have. And in the webhook URL section, you're going to go ahead and paste the webhook URL you got from Pabbly. And then for your webhook payload, these are the fields that you're going to use to collect information. This is the fields that are going into your LMS. And then this is an example. So for the first name, the example is Mac. For the last name, truck. And here's a sample email. So we have to do this because we're going to send a test payload to Pabbly to make sure that we have a connection. So you're going to go back to Pabbly, and then right over here you're going to say capture response, and it's going to run. And then if if you've already pressed send test payload, you'll see the fields appear, success, and then the names that you were using. So if I would have actually run this, I don't want to because I've already got everything set up and it's working just fine. I don't want to mess with it. We would have seen the name Mag Truck and the like, basically this information right here. So you're going to send a test payload and capture response, or vice versa. And that's how the connection is going to happen. And once you've got that successful connection going on, then you can connect with whatever the next action is. The next action for me is to subscribe to my funnel, Awesome Shortcuts funnel. But we're not done yet in the chat with Chatbot. The most important part is you got to go to the AI instructions right here. There's 2 steps in the system prompt, your main chatbot prompt, and in the action, the webhook prompt right here. So this action, you got to tell the AI how to use it. And this is where I figured out that this is the best spot to fix whatever issues I was having. So step 1, make sure I got that connection going. That was easy. Then, as I was testing, I started running into issues. So the first thing that I corrected was, if you already got the name, you don't need to ask for the rest of the info. So I am letting it know, use this action when the user would love some awesome Excel shortcuts. And when they clicked on that conversation starter, it actually says, I would love some awesome Excel shortcuts. Ask for the first name, last name, and email. Only ask for the information that has not been provided already. For example, if the user already gave their first name, then you do not have to ask for it because you already have it. Now you can rephrase it however you want, but basically you want to be as detailed as possible giving it instructions. This is what worked for me. Maybe you can say it with less words. And if the user already gave their email, don't ask because you already have it. Now this part was really key right here. Whenever the action would run, first, sometimes the action would run and sometimes it wouldn't. So I tied the action to that awesome Excel shortcuts. And now you're gonna see, because this is the action instructions, okay? And the conversation starter says, would love some awesome Excel shortcuts. And when it would run, it would show the JSON code, or it would say, hey, here's the steps that I'm going to take to make sure that you get the awesome shortcuts. So I put in this specific phrase right here. Never show the JSON code or explain the steps you will take to post this data. And that took care of that. So then I saved the webhook. So the key is to make sure that you've got the proper instructions and get as detailed as you possibly can. So you got to test, and then keep refining. Then you're going to go to your settings of your chatbot. And in the settings of your chatbot, you're going to go right into your system prompt. So you're going to go to your chatbot, your settings, and then your system prompt right in here. And whatever your system prompt is, whatever style you use or whatever, you let it know what's going on. So in the style of prompting that I do, I just let it know that, hey, get the first name, last name, and email address when you hear, I would love some awesome Excel shortcuts. So you see, this is key. It's in the system prompt and it's in the action AI instructions. And I'm letting it know, run the enabled action. So get the first name and last name and email when you hear, I would love awesome Excel shortcuts, and run the enabled action. and then make sure you save the changes. So we'll go back and open up a incognito. Let's go back to that test page that I have. There's my chat with Chatbot. And there is the welcome that we already set up. And let's say that's Sally now. Let's go. And then now the response is like that because, we can refine it. And then let's just go ahead and click on the conversation starter, Excel shortcuts, because I want to send this information that I've captured to my awesome Excel shortcuts funnel. And the bot responds, great choice, Sally, to provide you with some awesome Excel shortcuts. I'll need your last name, email address. See, now it's not asking for the first name because it already has it. And so let's go ahead and give last name is going to be Telio, and the email is sally@telio.com. Now I just made that up. And then let's press send. And then in the system prompt, it knows that once you capture the first name, last name, email address, and you've seen that I love awesome Excel shortcuts, or I would love some, you perform the action. So the action's performed, and then the bot replies, hey, confirms, I'm sending you the information. Now we go back to our LMS or CRM, wherever you're sending this data. Let's refresh. There we have it right there. Victory, just like that. So the key is once you make the connection, the webhook, that's real easy. The key is test, and going to your prompts, right? Your system prompt and the AI instructions in your webhook. Hope this helps. Gee-hoo!